Well, today's video should be pretty clear. We're going to talk about the new run of Ancient Barlow, and I'm going to start off as always with what's in my pocket, and my Hinder Fire Tack is in my pocket. I just really like this knife that much, guys. You can check my video out on this knife, the follow-up video out on this knife. I did it a couple days ago, so check that out definitely. But on to what we're here to discuss. The GEC Ancient Barlow, and you can see this one here. This is the first run from, I believe, 2016, 2015, and this was one of the first traditional knives I ever got. I actually had one of these in just plain parchment as well, and I was stupid enough to sell that knife. So unfortunately, that's a loss for me. But we're going to talk about the TC Barlow from this year's run, which is in muscadine saw cut bone, and we'll pop the tube off. If you're not familiar with these knives, let me start here before we even get into that. These knives are made by a gentleman by the name of Charlie Campagna, and it's slipping my view right this second, but his name is actually on the front right here. So this is the person who had the special factory order made. You can see on the back, he always includes a pretty cool story. If you want to read that, you can pause it here and read that. The note that I would make is built to be used, and down at the bottom it says, P.S. please use this knife. So he's really wanting this knife to be a user, and he really designed this knife, I think, in a way that's going to make people not afraid to use it. You can see here, came with a button, Ancient Barlow button, pretty cool. Here's the knife itself. Let's check it out. And you can see right away, it is very ancient looking. The bolsters are proud, which is something that some people were asking about. The bolsters are proud. The covers are proud of the bolsters. The bolsters themselves have not been polished and refined. They still have that heat treat scale on there, and you can see the pins stick out a little bit. But what I like is just this just looks like an old knife already. And you can see here the centering is great. The pull, the walk and talk is great. You can see he has the same logo that he had on the pin right here. You can see that blade also has not been polished up too much. It has a nice little patina on it. And you can see here something that I thought was a little bit unique. Maybe you can, there you go. There is a space between the 15 and the rest of the numbers. So they modified the model number for this knife. Just a great overall knife. Definitely you can see this knife here was meant to be an ancient version as well. You can see that there was some heat treat scale left on here, but the bolsters were much more. Sorry about that, battery cut out on me. But as I was saying, you can see that these two knives here are both ancients. This one from the first run that they did in 2015. This one from the current run. You can see the difference in the blade shape there. This is referred to as a lamb's foot blade. Also on this one, something that's different. That same logo is actually imprinted onto the blade. It's not an etch, it's an actual imprint. And I think that you guys can see that here, whereas this one is an etch that's on the blade. You can see that both of the blades, this one again is a little bit more finished, but you can see it's still a little bit patinaed. This one is even more patinaed. The covers are not proud on this one, but you can see that the covers are proud on this one. And this is just how Barlow knives were made. If you guys are not familiar, a Barlow knife is one of these knives with a longer bolster at the top for added strength and rigidity. And these knives were meant to be working men's knives. And they were put together using very economic materials, and they were put together in a very economic way as to save money, because these were knives that were meant to go out and do some work. But back to the comparisons, you can see here that the pins, while they are they're not as finished as your standard pins, you can see that these are even less finished. And from my understanding is that's straight off of the machine. When they come off the machine, they apparently look just like that, and then they are polished and refined to look like the ones on the knives that we know. You can see that the pivot pin right here is a little bit proud. Again, just the way the knife is designed. You can see here again that was cleaned up on this knife. Overall, two great knives. I like both of these knives. Honestly, this lamb's foot blade is cool and it's very historical, but I like the way this spear point blade looks on this sleeve board pattern. And again, if you aren't familiar with what sleeve board pattern is, you can see here it's larger at this end than it is on this end. It tapers down and it's like an ironing board kind of. You would put your sleeve of your shirt onto the ironing board. So it's called a sleeve board pattern. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry about it cutting out in the middle there. Look forward to making more videos on more knives, and I hope to catch you guys in those videos. Remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.